Welcome everybody to today's reading. Today's reading is going to be messages from your person. So we have 3 groups for you to choose from. We have group 1 with the wooden dream catcher bracelet. We have group 2 with the, I think it's Indian agate or moss agate anklet with the dragonfly. And we have group 3 with the evil eye anklet. So you can take a moment to choose whichever group you feel the most drawn to, and we will get started with group 1. Timestamps are in the description box. Okay, welcome group 1. If you chose the wooden bracelet with the dream catchers, then this will be your group reading today on messages from your person. So the very first thing that I got was played out, and I also, when I took the tarot cards, I heard triad, and that is in reference to I believe it's like a psychology reference, and there's a reader that I follow, Just Pocket the Chaos Witch, that she actually references that quite often. So it's not something I totally understand, but I kind of get the feeling for this, like it might be something that you choose to look into. And I obviously am not accredited or anything like that. I have no training or qualifications in this area. It's just something that it seems to actually naturally come through in the readings. So I do get the feeling here of a person purposely trying to put you into a state of confusion just throughout their behaviors and how they change. Okay. Now there's also this like strong overcoming whatever the situation is. So it's like a very strong kudos from spirit to you in overcoming whatever the hurdles have been. I do feel like this is very much acknowledgement of you actually coming out on top of your situation, being the winner, or even if you don't feel like being the winner because maybe whatever the situation was could have taken a lot from you. Just the fact that you've gotten to the point that you have is like, I don't know how to say it. I don't want to reduce your experience, but that's kind of winning in itself enough without anything else necessarily having to happen to kind of validate that experience for you. So hopefully this resonates, and if it doesn't, this may not be your group for today. Now there's also this card here I've got: from quiet and peaceful to rapturous and vibrant, I feast upon the sumptuous banquet of my soul's journey of rainbow wisdom. And I think this is something here to acknowledge like how beautiful you are, the depth of your experience, the complexity of you as a person and your soul, the vibrancy that you bring to the table here that people may have tried to reduce, I don't know, like tried to downplay. People have tried to downplay that in you, whatever that behavior is, or whatever that, it's like people didn't want to acknowledge the complexity of your soul or the situation or how vibrant you were or how pretty. I'm hearing the word pretty. So, take that vice versa. I realize that that's not always necessarily a statement people use if you are, in masculine form. Like, there's lots of different ways that people can acknowledge our physical attributes, but it's something here where it's like, whatever this is about you, you are strong and vibrant. There is something in your soul where it's like full of vitality, or I'm getting the words like vibrant currency. So yeah, I'll just let that mean whatever it means to you. You know, I'm not sure I understand it any better than what I've kind of had come through. So all right, now I don't know if there's something here with this person. I don't know if this person is a person that you are maybe always going to have to deal with. Not necessarily for everybody, but for those of you that it is, I feel like this, you know, whatever this cycle was, whatever these behaviors were that they cycle through, that can have a tendency to kind of cause confusion. I don't feel like it will be a cycle that will necessarily or readily end with just you having worked it out what they're doing. We did have in one of the last readings, I don't know which one it was because I popped out a few kind of closer together, where there was that recognition of the pattern that was happening. And so now it's like, yep, you've realized the pattern, and maybe understood how that switching of behaviors, it's like there's got to be an acknowledgement here of that this person doing this, or whether they realize it or not, and I don't even like using terms like that because I don't really want to leave them any room for like not being accountable for their actions, but it's like when they keep switching up their behavior and what seems like their personality traits and how they handle a situation, what they're okay with and what they're not okay with and whatnot. It's like very much changing the goalpost here. It not only does it make it, not only does it reduce your ability to actually achieve whatever the said goal is, right? To kind of both be on the same page and have clear expectations that you can kind of work towards, let alone as a team, just on your own, right? But this keeping you confused, it like takes away your ability to ever make a final decision. It takes away your ability to hold them accountable or to, you know, have an honest discussion on how you can kind of move past whatever this is. It's in essence, they're not wanting you to move forward. They're wanting to kind of keep you stuck. They're wanting to, there's something here where it's like they very much want to keep you under their thumb. And at times they may have given you the air of feeling like they may have pretended to let you like win an argument or something like that, to give you the illusion that you're not totally under their control or that's not what's going on or something, okay? But I just feel like it's, to me at this point, it seems very obvious that this group, you seem to be aware of what's happening, making, like, you, I don't know, it doesn't even feel like you're making sovereign decisions, but that you have already achieved sovereignty. There's something here that's like, I'm getting the words of like big soul recognition here. So I think that's like a message from the divine, is like there's some, I don't know if this is you coming into your own recognition of your own soul and achievements, or if this is like acknowledgement and validation and praise or something like that from the universe that you are something. What's the soul recognition? I think it's that kind of thing that when you are ready to recognize your situation that's been playing out, for you to get to this point that you've like realized the pattern and you've pinned down whatever this is, even if you don't really understand the triad, because I don't really either, right? But it's something here where it's like you understand that they were keeping you confused on purpose. So you've had to acknowledge your own part in the situation. You've had to acknowledge the reality of what's been happening. And yeah, I don't know. There's something here in your ability to identify whatever this was, make the changes that you did. You've overcome this obstacle. You may have to deal with this into the future. I'm not sure what that looks like. I feel like when I say, for those of you that will have to continuously deal with this person, they could be like a family member or something, right? Or they could be like the parent, like the other parent of a child that you share, or I don't know what the situation is. Maybe you guys work together. Maybe you guys share the same group of friends or something. There's something, it feels a little bit stronger than that. Like it doesn't feel like you would just not go to a party because this person will be there. It feels like there's something here where you are kind of forced to deal with this person as to why they would continue to come up. But for others of you, you've totally exited out of this cycle, and there's the level of soul recognition. I keep getting stuck on it. So I wonder if it's a case of like you guys are recognizing something to do with your soul or with yourself, But there's also something here where it might be really hard for you to recognize that you have overcome it, and just how big your soul is and just how much you've overcome. Like we have the Seven of Wands here, which is like preparation and building a solid foundation, the ability to kind of keep ourselves protected and safe, and being, in a sense, I know, I understand that the Four of Wands can be like that same sort of thing, like that stable foundation and whatnot. Right now, this card is giving me the energy of the most grounded of the Wands cards that there is. And it's something here of like, it is very self-protective. And it doesn't, I know sometimes when we are trying to put in preparation into the future based off past experiences, you know, kind of projecting into the future, that there can be like an air of anxiety or something here where it's not always necessary, and it can have the potential to take away from our present experience, right? For the things, yeah, like it might not even come to fruition, right? But there's something here about this of like having everything that you need now to keep yourself in a good position, or to protect yourself, or keep yourself safe, or to keep the people out that are really not for you, or are not going to be kind to you, you know what I mean? So I don't know. Yeah, you guys could still be like keeping your cards close to your chest, and there could be potential to have a new person coming in, whether this is like a best friend or you know, a romantic interest, a lover of some kind, right? But it's like just the level of recognition here is off the charts. I don't know how to explain it. So I'm going to take more cards. I want to take a moment here and just see if there's anything else that wants to come in from this energy before I take more cards. Okay, we're going to move on. All right, so we've got what we need so far. Let's see what else we can get. I feel like there's something strong here to do with it where you guys you've been able to take care of like a lot of your chakras, like all the way up to the heart. So it's like you've been able to open, clear, or I don't know. It's like you got your security in check, or your sense of belonging or safety or something in the world. Even if it doesn't always feel like that, there's some sort of acknowledgement here that you've done some type of work or come to some sort of realization or something, that you are safe. You have the ability to keep yourself safe. You have your belonging in this world is like your inherent right to having, like, you were born here, you belong here. And having the willpower to own your life, to kind of step up to the plate and make decisions for yourself. Like, you're being responsible for your own life. You're taking charge of your own life. You're being, you know, the main character of your life. You're not letting other people kind of dictate things to you or put you on the back burner in some sense. It's like you are exercising willpower and it's like the direction of your own life. You are directing the ship. And you know, and then we kind of get up through to the heart chakra, and I feel like this is very much where you guys are at now. And there's something here, there's like an infinite love that is coming through from the universe that I feel like is circulating within you and your soul, or back and you know, flowing between you and the universe very freely and openly. So this is very good. You guys, this group, you could definitely have another person coming in, and you could be scared of, you could potentially have, it could be fear, a fear of being stuck or getting trapped in some sense, a fear of negative rumination or old toxic sort of cycles or habits coming up or something like that when push comes to shove, and being able to be the master of, you know, that part of yourself, like not letting it get the better of you, because you actually are very strong and you are very healthy, and you are, you know, there's something here where it's like, I feel like even if you could have the potential to kind of lose control or composure in times, I feel like you guys have very much overcome that. So that could be something that comes up here as well. And so what I kind of am getting is, if you are single and kind of open to some sort of relationship, even if you know, I don't know, maybe part of your like higher self is open to it and you just don't kind of realize your conscious part of yourself, or like your sense of self is just yet. Like you might still feel a little bit closed off, I'm not sure. But there's something here where it's like there could be that potential to play out those old patterns from previous relationships, or a fear of that coming up, and really being accountable for what comes out of you, recognizing that it's just because people may do things that look similar to, you know, old relationships and, you know, situations that are played out, doesn't mean that they are doing the same thing. So there's something here like that. But also that you guys are powerful and you have overcome, like, you know, kind of tough or crazy situations before. So it's like, you know that you can overcome it. You know that you've got grit. You know that you are bound to be sick. There's something here where you are bound to be successful. And there's something like you have the ability to call the shots or make decisions that are going to put you, what is it, like, you're not going to be at odds with this situation, or even if you feel like you are still going to be able to overcome it. It's like the universe would not give you something that you were not ready for, okay? Or something, it's like they would not give you something that you did not have the tools within yourself to already kind of handle, or yeah, something like that. Okay. I want to read the book on this. And so if you don't already have, we already talked about the singles. So if you are in a relationship, there could be something here about like I don't know if there's like a rekindling from a person from the past, or I don't know if I really get too much of relationship vibes here. What I would say is that if this old cycle is playing out, I mean, yeah, I guess some of you could be further down the timeline, like you're already in this relationship that's new, that's come in, and you could see some of these old patterns playing out, and it might not necessarily be from your person, but, you know, that whole thing of like still living out those previous patterns from the old relationships. But for others of you, you could have not long overcome or come out of a separation from a situation like this, but I don't know. I do feel like there might be some people here that have been in, not to say that those other situations can't exist in the long term, but there could be people here who have been with your same person for a long time, and that whatever this pattern is could have come from like a long, long time ago, or it might not have been in your relationship as per se. It could have been like, you know, friends or family or something like that. Anyway. Okay, so first of all, what do we want to take next? We're going to take different cards. So messages from your person. So I think that there's some sort of like call to acknowledge. Yes, that's soul recognition. This, okay, it's starting to make a bit more sense now. So it's like maybe this person took you for a bit of a ride, but they recognize now there's some sort of like match or what you bring to the table, or they didn't recognize just how big your soul was before, or they, I don't know, maybe there's something you guys could have potentially sparked this person to come into their own type of like awakening or spiritual awakening or awareness or something, where they are now in touch with their own soul recognition, or for in some way they have this soul recognition for you. So it's like they may not have understood it before, they may not have seen it, they may have been the people that were playing out these weird kind of toxic patterns or something that had nothing really to do with you. Like you could have been getting caught up in this, where not everyone is like out there intentionally doing this stuff, right? Sometimes we're just on the receiving end of like other people's trauma that's still being played out, right? So something like that. But I mean, it could have been both. It could have kind of been carried forth in some way. I don't know. All I know is that it feels like you guys have exited it, and I don't want to, I feel like I'm starting to get off track, so we'll just keep moving. Okay. We have talking shit, happiness hater, and dirt digging, looking for dirt on you, or vice versa. So this person is not happy that you've exited out of whatever this situation was. Like, they're not happy that you've somehow overcome it, or that you've left them in the dust. I don't know if this has put you guys on your path, or if you guys were getting kind of like a secret knowledge, or if spirit was cluing you on to things as things were playing out, or I don't know if you guys were getting some type of like spiritual guidance or readings or something that helped you through this, but it's like you guys knew something before this other person knew that you were onto it. So okay. I'm just hearing that they want to come back around again, and that they're going to play with your feelings or thoughts or something like that. But I feel like they're bringing somebody else into the equation who's, I don't know, so I don't know, this person could have like moved on, and they could be like lying to this other person and trying to bring you into some sort of third party connection with them, but their person that they're already around or with is kind of aware of something. I don't know. I don't want it to get too confusing. We're just going to keep going. So just, again, take what resonates and just ignore anything else. I'm just hearing I don't want to move too fast. And so this person could be trying to like trick or deceive some of you into moving faster than what you would be ready for. Yeah. I'm just hearing it's okay to slow down. It's okay to slow down. It's okay not to like give them too much or give too much away. I don't know if this person would put you in a position where you have to kind of compete for their attention or affection, or if they would sort of enter into a relationship with you in some way where they would kind of compete with you. Okay. This person could have been very near and dear to your heart at one point in time, but it's just like, with everything that happened, they put themselves at, I don't know, at a distance. It's almost, it makes me think that this person is now having to, or will have to, watch you play out a very happy, healthy relationship without them. And they will be able to see it. I don't know if you guys know a lot of the same people, or if you still have each other on social media, or you happen to bump into each other if you live in a small town or something. But there's like something here where they won't be able to escape kind of witnessing it, even if it is from a distance. So, and they could still be paying far too much attention to your life instead of moving on with their own. And there's something here where I feel like this group, it's that kind of reiteration of you guys overcoming something, and it feels really grave, like really deep, really heavy, really hectic stuff that you've had to go through. You've been put in really terrible positions or something, but you guys have mended your own heart, or you have done some type of like healing work or something. I don't know what it was that you did. I don't know. All I know is that this energy, I want to bring it back to the front. I want to kind of let the energy from this card like emanate out, because it's so powerful and it's so beautiful and it's so healing. And this is part of that recognition for everything that you have done and been through and overcome in your life, or in this chapter of your life. There's something here so strong about the way that you've handled things and the obstacles that you've overcome. I'm starting to get like reoccurring messages. So, but I feel like you guys literally have stitched your heart back together. Okay, so you could be having this new interest come in June. And so at the time, it doesn't matter like when you actually see this reading, because these readings are timeless. So it could be whenever June will next occur from the point that you see this video. But it could also be a case that, I guess, what are we in right now? At the time that I'm posting this video, it is September. So like roughly 9 months away, which is, you know, also, you know, roughly how long it takes to, you know, go through the gestational stage of bearing a child. So there is something here where some of you may actually have a child with this new person, but even if it's not that, that may be how long it takes for this new person to come in for you. And for others of you, you actually could be working on like a really beautiful, enriching, creative project that may take 9 months to really come to fruition. But there's something here, I don't know, it seems very important and very significant. Okay, we're going to move on. And you know what's the most beautiful, brilliant thing about this so far is that we're so happy to just continue to move on from this energy. Every time it comes up, you're leaving this person in the dust, and you are, again, being self-protective, but you're extremely well-rounded. And I think that I get the sense that you guys are truly beautiful, like from soul deep, skin deep, all of it, just from the inside out. Like, I don't know if you guys recognize your own beauty or not, but the universe does, and I think so does everybody else, okay? Okay, so we're going to just quickly take stock of some of the signs that we have here. So we do have, what do we have? I was about to say like, you know, Libra and Taurus, and then I was thinking Venus, and then they said Mars. So it does give me romantic interest and energy between, like, you know, women with Venus association and men with Mars. But there's, yeah, so Libra, Taurus, Pisces, Cancer. What else do we have? Leo, Capricorn. I feel like we're going to be showing out with quite a few different cards here at the moment. That's okay, we'll move on. Okay, so there could have been some sort of justice, some sort of situation brought to justice, some sort of like restoring of the balance within the universe of your situation, or, you know, something regarding karmas where it's like the universe has caught your situation up with regards to where you are at karmically with something that's played out or someone else. And so... I just feel like they're bringing in the goods. I am getting something about there could be like a middle-aged man or woman coming in that is like really attractive, but they are actually bringing in the goods. I don't know if it's everything that you want or need, or if it's just like a temporary kind of good time thing. But I feel like it would have some sort of healing essence, even if it is just to kind of catch you up to speed with letting your guard down, to be able to potentially move forward with someone a little bit more seriously sort of down the line. But there could also be something here where maybe they come in with what seems to be, I don't know, there's something, I was going to say like a shallow offer, like it appears to be a shallow offer, but I kind of get a wholesome energy of it where it's like, maybe this person just is very chill or casual, and maybe they just they seem like they don't have a lot to offer, but they're just so happy to spend time with you, but like not time in the moment, but time over time. Like they're happy to spend lots of time with you over a long period of time, and they're happy to just get to know you, and they're happy to kind of chill, and they're happy to take it easy with you and just be in the mess of the moment, and they're happy to just have you be exactly who you are, as you are, very real and raw, and not apologize for anything. And I think that might be part of that healing energy. And I don't know how many cycles, whether you just do like a lap around the sun, kind of like 1 year or something with this person before moving on. Maybe it doesn't turn out to be what we thought it was. It doesn't really give me the art of them having deceived us intentionally, but maybe as we get older or mature, or, you know, different seasons come and they make us privy to the entirety of this person or the situation. It's like we're given more information over time. You know, we see how people handle things. Maybe we realize that it's not really going to kind of mature or progress any further than it has. And there's something there where maybe we realize we've been lying to ourselves. And so, yeah, and it's kind of like feeling like starting again. And so this, for some of you, could be kind of the next little thing that comes in here, where it's like more of a temporary relationship. But for others of you, this could be going back and kind of looking at this same person over the time. It's like a different view on the situation, or maybe it was a bit of insight into how you guys started off or something like that. It's, I don't know, this, I'm just asking the guides if I need any more kind of information to help clear things up for group 1 before we move on. And they're saying this is, you know, everything that you meant to, you know, have passed on, everything that you meant to know at this point. So let's see what else. It's like, basically they're saying I haven't missed anything. So we have Jupiter, the Moon, Capricorn, and Mars. I just feel like group 1, that you have just outgrown whatever the situation was, or wherever you were sort of even 6 months ago, or, you know, even a couple years ago. And you could be really focused on your work or your goals in life at this point, and how you can kind of take action executing that area of your life. It's like you could have also had exponential like emotional developmental growth or something here, like emotional maturity through your lived experiences. And I think there's something here about you didn't necessarily restrict yourself. You were able to allow this process to take place or to happen as it unfolded, where you didn't cut yourself off from your emotions, but when it really came down to it, you were able to be matter of fact in the moments that you were needed to be. Okay. So for some of you, a little bit of a summary here to kind of wrap this up, because this is meant to be messages from your person, right? And this sometimes is how it comes through, is like acknowledging the way that things played out. So for a lot of you, that's exactly what it is. The message from your person is that they understand more of their side of the situation, and maybe some of the things that they did. And I do get the feeling that they would probably never admit to this or confess the things that they did, like the part that they had to play and whatnot. But there's that quiet sort of soul level recognition that their higher self will acknowledge it, even if they are not ready to in this form just yet. And it's like, for some of you, this could have been part of a North Node experience, whether this is for either of you. There's a recognition that it is somebody's North Node to have gone through an experience like this. And I feel like they probably even if it's more of a quiet acknowledgement again, that they realize they had more of a part to play. Yeah, okay, we're starting to get repeating messages. All right, Spirit, universe, is there anything else we need for group 1 before we tap out? No, that's everything we have for you guys. Hopefully this is helpful to you in some way. Much love, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you in another one. Okay, welcome group 2. If you chose the Indian agate or moss agate anklet with the little dragonfly pendant, then this will be your messages from your person coming through. So when I started pulling the cards, I was getting, there's a Blink-182 song. I think it's Always Miss You or something like that. I'll link it under the timestamp. But it's, the words are something to the effect of, oh no, it's totally slipped me. That's okay. We'll keep moving. But it's like, yeah, okay. I cannot eat. I cannot sleep tonight. I need somebody and always, something like that. Okay. Yeah, and I miss you. Okay. So we have, I surrender wholly and completely into profound renewal and multi-dimensional healing, trusting in the magnificent grace that guides my soul. My energies are renewed and swiftly magnetize all good things for the happiness, pleasure, and delight of my heart. We also have the Empress here and the Six of Wands. So there is a really beautiful energy here of overcoming something, stepping into a new state of being that you may have, whether it was consciously or unconsciously, have manifested for yourself. But I feel like there are times where we have more control over this than others. And I feel like this group, you may not have had a lot of control over what it was that you exited out of, but there is like that soul evolution. Soul evolution. And I'm also hearing soul retrieval. So don't know if that's something that group 2 has been working on, as soul retrieval, or if it's something that you're being called to explore at this time, now that you have entered into this like new state of being. I do get the energy here for some of you in group 2 that you may have like energetically switched timelines or something. It's like, in whatever it was that you are able to overcome, or the healing that you've done that has put you into this kind of new timeline, it's been like phenomenal that you were able to achieve it. It's almost a little bit puzzling. So you may not actually recognize A, that you've even been able to do this, or B, how you actually managed to do it, or C, how you could replicate it again in the future. And right now the universe is asking you not to worry about those things. Let's not think about it. Let's be really grateful that we are where we're at, and actually honestly acknowledge that that's where we're at, and that you've been able to do it regardless of whether you chose to or took any specific actions to be able to. It's something here acknowledging something coming to completion, and something in your soul kind of doing what it was meant to, or fulfilling some type of like task, or something like that. Okay, so I feel like this group, I have to say that there's like a really beautiful, graceful energy where it feels like you are quite well-rounded people. I feel like this is not just like overcoming a situation, but actually getting a lot of recognition from other people. So I don't know if that's been something that you haven't had a lot of in the past, but we'll take more cards and kind of move on. Oh, I don't know. I feel like I'm not sure what way to go. Okay. So this group, you may not be used to being in this energy, so it may kind of leave you in a position of like not wanting to squander it and not really knowing how to move forward. But there's also that reiteration of having been successful and being really well-rounded, people trying not to like, it almost makes me, I keep getting that thing of like, let's not think about it too much. Okay. Okay, and so we're also getting something here about your communication during this time is at a higher level, and I do get quite high vibrational energy here as well. High frequency, like it's, I don't know if it's elevated, but it's like high frequency. I guess the, you know, could go hand in hand, but maybe not wanting to, I don't know if this group, if you are not so ready to kind of show your cards yet, or you want to keep things to yourself, or you want to hold on to this moment in time, or you're not really sure how to kind of move forward or take action, because yeah, it's like holding on to it or something. Yeah, it's holding on to this moment. And for some of you, you may feel vulnerable, even though you're at this elevated point of like having the ability to communicate in a more elevated way than you probably previously are used to. It's like still not necessarily wanting to show your hand or something like that from something that's happened. But I feel called to like this, my energies are renewed and swiftly magnetize all good things for the happiness, pleasure, and delight of my heart. Yeah, it's like whenever we think like this and we're not sure what move to make and how to think, and potentially being a little bit like protective or guarded or something, wanting to just make sure that we are taken care of, almost potentially from a lack mindset, or still not really feeling ready or strong enough to be kind of vulnerable in a certain type of way, to focus on the things that fill our heart up, and that will put us into an energy where this, whatever that was before, won't be as much of a problem going forward when we're able to acknowledge our heart. And there's something here about the imprint that you leave upon the world or leave behind. It's almost like a legacy. So for some of you, this could be like a breaking the chain of, you know, the generational patterns and trauma, or I don't know, it's like whatever it is ends with you. So it might not, it's not always about family. I recognize that some of you could have had such level profound impact upon an entire industry or an entire, but it seems to do with the way that people are taken care of, particularly potentially either are vulnerable people, people that cannot speak for themselves, people that need nurturing, people that often lack supportive people that can advocate for them when they are not in a position to be able to do that themselves. And for others of you, there's something here to this vibrancy where it's like, maybe you brought a new level to the game. Maybe you brought new colors to the world. Maybe you brought new ways of doing things. You brought a new type of art to, you know, like a new way of doing whatever your artwork is, or I don't know. There's something here where it's like, it almost makes me think of energetically, or having energy flowing throughout the mycelial network, underground in the earth, that is kind of tapped into everything. It's like the oneness of all energy interacting and exchanging and kind of pulsating throughout the world and all its inhabitants. And it seems that level big. It seems that level out there. Maybe this is, for some of you, you had the ability, you worked out how to tap into that. Yeah. Okay, so we're just going to take some more cards and move on. For some of you, this could have just been a level of self-awareness. Nurse, look, we have 6 of Wands twice, and it literally says victory. This group, you have overcome something quite strongly. So we've got 10 of Swords and the King of Swords, and we have the King of Swords twice as well. So we do have air signs here as well. I already said Taurus and Libra. And we have the Empress twice as well. This is very cool. And we have New Beginning. And that, yeah, okay. So, I don't even know. I don't want to get too lost in the sauce. We want to keep up. So it's like, you guys have definitely left something behind, or you've like, I don't know if this group was a group that was like potentially self-sabotaging or self-destructive or just a little bit destructive in general. I don't know if I particularly get that feeling. Maybe once upon a time you allowed yourself to be around other people that were potentially disruptive or destructive in their nature. But it's like you were able to see through whatever was happening and call BS on it and make your own decision, where I just feel like you guys are quite intelligent and you're able to see like the forest from the trees. Maybe there's something here to do with like almost in terms of like psychology, spotting the predator out of a pack, and not necessarily a predator, but it could have just been like, you know, you have like a type of species that they do what they do just by nature and by survival, but maybe there was one out of the pack or a group of people that they were not like the others. And it could have been a case that this person was ready for evolution, or it could have been a case of the opposite. The others kind of did what they did unknowingly with a lack of self-awareness, whereas like there was one in particular who kind of like upped the ante and took advantage of that. But I actually feel like it's you guys. I feel like there's something here where you made the decision to step away from some sort of group. You called it quits, and it wasn't just, it was almost like when you stood, whatever it was that you like cut cords with or left behind, or you let a relationship die or something like that, it wasn't just leaving these people behind. It was leaving a way of life behind. It was leaving a certain type of judgment behind. It was leaving, I'm hearing, unconscious patterns behind. It was leaving unfair treatment. It was leaving stress. It was leaving, you know, mental rumination and stuff. There was like those destructive and self-sabotaging patterns. So there's something here where it's like you've very much seen things for what it was that you hadn't before. And I also have this Empress coming out twice. What? And we've got the New Beginning. Let's see. What is... I do feel like some people wanted to dethrone you, and in the terms, like in them taking action towards dethroning you, I don't know if there is something that potentially looked like it was taken from you, or there was an old situation that you were like, I don't know, maybe these people thought they were like referencing you and taking out the trash as in you being the trash, but really it was like they kind of took themselves out. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like this group, you are doing your own thing. You're very happy and whole in yourselves, and you don't really need other people. I don't understand. I don't know a lot about, or I haven't really looked into a lot of like the necessarily feminine and masculine archetypes. It's not even that. It's, what is it, like group hierarchical archetypes, you know, when you talk about a person being an alpha, a person being a sigma, a beta, a delta, all that sort of stuff. So I was sort of getting like sigma and delta here. So that might be something for those of you that are interested in those references that you could look into. It's not something I don't really know a lot about, but I feel like people, when they come into your energy, they're trying to work you out, and they automatically feel like they need to keep an eye on you and watch what you do, because they can tell that you are like I'm getting like the reference of like triple threat. So this group, it's like, I don't know if you're like good looking, intelligent, and got a bit of like, I don't know, a cool personality or something. I'm not sure. Maybe you're just like a bit of a boss and you've got your stuff together, but you like have a lot of grit and determination or something. could like very creative energy, or the ability to birth. This definitely could be a child coming in here. There definitely could be. I feel like if a child's coming in here, whoever this person is like watching your old relationship potential die. It's turning into a wasteland, and they're watching you create new life somewhere else or without them. Yeah. For some of you, this could have been like, you know, the mother of your children or a father of your children or something like that. But which is actually like kind of touching on similar energies to group 1. So group 2 and group 1 could be linked if that was something you were already drawn to. But I don't know. I also see here something about people looking for a potential way in with you. Especially now, in some lens, certain people are deeming you to be like dethroned, even though you've actually, like, what I kind of feel like is like, maybe you have spiritually evolved, or you have in your soul overcome some sort of great lesson, or there's something here where it's like people on a lower vibration not actually recognizing how you have overcome something. They are looking at you. What I'm talking about here, right? She's on her throne, and then she is not on a throne, and it's almost as if it's like meant to be the same person. So she had like, I'm hearing rags to riches, but the way I was getting this is like she had all her like luxury, comfort, material sort of stuff, and then going back to basics, but still being really rich and happy and healthy and whole, and you know, still having great, like, I don't know why it always comes through as like nutrition, because it's like food for the soul, still being a really well-rounded, beautiful person who has so much to give that feeds everyone around her. So it's like people are not paying attention to the fact that you are just as beautiful. They're not recognizing some type of humble or modest attitude that you have, or that you are really, what is it? Like, some people may think that they're about to capitalize on you experiencing some type of loss, but like, you haven't lost. You haven't. Some of you are experiencing people that are comparing yourselves and your situations to each other when they're just frankly not the same. Like, it's just not the same. I don't know who needs to hear that, whether there's people here on the other side of this reading or not, but if anyone is judging you or your situation, it's not the same. They don't understand it. And they think that there may be something that they can take from you, or they're looking for scraps or something. This person could have decided that it was now more beneficial to get back on your good side, or back in your good books, or something like that as well. But there's something here where they're being calculated. And for some of these people, not all of them are like bad. Some of these people are actually taking stock of how you carry yourself over time, as in terms of consistency over a long period of time, because they're deciding whether they're going to put stock into you or not. So yeah, it kind of gives me a couple different people here that are actually coming through for you. So like, messages from your person so far. Some people are undecided about you. Some people are, you know, what would be the message? It's like, it almost gives me unconscious thoughts for some of these messages from your person, because it's like, a lot of these people would not say, congrats, you overcame whatever the situation was. Like, they wouldn't necessarily give you props or the credit for something. They would look at it as an opportunity of, you've now got something different or more accessible for them to kind of take from. But I feel like there's maybe like two different people or two different groups of people here. I kind of get, yeah, I don't know. Messages from your person. I am hearing they want to say how beautiful you are. So there is, okay, I feel like I need to separate this out so that we can make it very clear. I feel like we have this King of Swords energy here who is taking stock of you. So this could be an air sign. So it could be like Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. I do feel strongly more like an Aquarius kind of elder air sign energy, where it's, and they could just be like a, I don't know if they're like a senior masculine necessarily, but this person has a really defined eye. and they're very good at seeing through people's like situations and demeanors. And they're seeing you, they're taking stock of you, they're checking for that consistency over a long period of time, and they want to acknowledge it is a message from them. I don't know if they would readily say it just yet because they seem very patient. They're going to take their time. They find you incredibly beautiful. They find you incredibly, like, I don't know, seductive? Yeah. They find you incredibly or inherently worldly beautiful, like naturally beautiful. Like you don't need makeup, or like you don't need to kind of go and wear the best brands and be keeping up with the Joneses or anything. They see you for everything that you are in like totality of your being, and they really like it. I feel like you'd be the first person that has caught this person's interest in a very long time, and they're intrigued. I feel like they've maybe not opened their heart up for a long time. I feel like they've lived most of their life in this kind of mental energy, logic, taking stock of things, not really stopping to look what's around them. Even though they pay great attention, they're very observant. You have caught their eye, and there's something about it. You're making them think twice about how they live their life. You could potentially be inspiring them to take action in a different area of life or focus on something different. It almost makes me think of, it's like this new potential love interest or something. And they can't help themselves but stop and acknowledge all that you are and what you have had to overcome. They like the way that you handle yourself. There's a beautiful, graceful nature to you. I feel like this group, you would be very kind, but also very self-assured. Very graceful, but you know where you stand. I feel like this person, the messages that you have from this person, there would be quite a lot, but they're still taking stock, okay? Anyway, and so we also have this like second group here. They actually have seen you overcome something, but the messages here is that they're not going to acknowledge that part. These are the people that are looking for some type of opportunity with you. And it doesn't feel so innocent, or it doesn't feel, I don't know, it almost feels like an agenda. So yeah, it could have been people that you like already ended the relationship with that are looking for a way back in more than anything else. So that would be the message from them, is like, how can I kind of get back to, or it almost gives me the energy of trying different angles with you as well. So if you have somebody that you may have ended the connection with, or stepped away, pulled back your energy from, or put some really solid boundaries in place, this person is going to continue to try to show up in different energies until they sort of get let back in. But I feel like they have an agenda. So just take what resonates there. You know your situation better than anybody else. I feel like you're in such a high frequency flow state of way of being. You've already changed timelines. It will get to a point that this second person here who has an agenda trying to come back in, you will get to a point where there's so much distance between the two timelines that they will naturally fall away, but it may take time. Whereas I feel like the more further that you fall away from this kind of destructive group of people that have an agenda or whatever it is, the closer that you come into contact with this King of Swords who is really paying attention to, it very much feels like a masculine to the feminine. It's like two counterparts in some way, even though, I don't know, this person may have some of their own insecurities to overcome as it is anyway. I feel like if there was any one single energy here that was tying all three elements of groups of people here together, there would be some type of like logical, mental way of like thinking, but there also would be some type of insecurity that does tie you all together. So it's like, I feel like this King of Swords person actually doesn't really have anything to hide, but they may be more protective, whereas I feel like I'm referencing group 2 as being in this Empress energy. You may feel uneasy about being vulnerable, and this sort of third group of people that have agendas or trying to come back in, there's like that lack mentality, or I don't know, lack feeling of self-worth, where it's like they can't create it for themselves. What am I trying to say? That's not right. That's not correct. It's like they have such a hard time feeling like they could create something for themselves, where they need to hold on to everything so tight that they almost kind of suffocate what they do have. I don't know if that makes sense to you all, group two. Hopefully this, hopefully everything here does. But getting back to our kind of higher vibrational message is that there is a new beginning coming in here. Yeah, and so this new beginning that you are having from these people could look like a tower moment to some of them. But again, we also have the Six of Wands. We've had the Six of Wands come through in 3 different tarot decks here. You guys are on the up, and it's going to shock people. And so that could also be messages from these people. It doesn't matter who they are that's showing up in this group, the messages from your person. I think group 2, you are shocking people. You are shocking people. It's like you're showing up with a new type of energy or a new way of being or new opportunities on the horizon. You're carrying yourself in a different manner or something. The truth is, the thing is about this is that I feel like you have always been this person. You have never... Yeah, we're all, people grow and change and learn and do things differently, and we can honor ourselves more with time. But there's also something here to coming into, more of an authenticity within ourselves. I feel like this group, you've always been the same person, and people did not give you the recognition that you deserve for it. And I don't mean as in people don't need to get down on their knees and praise you and be like, oh, hail the Empress group too. But it's like, you were a really beautiful person, and people refuse to give you credit, or they refuse to acknowledge that you're a beautiful person. They were all too happy to just kind of be like, group 2 so gracious, they'll let me be destructive or let me walk all over a situation, something like that. I don't know. Hopefully this is resonating for you guys. It's just I think it's going to blow some people's mind, and they're not going to know what to do. They're not going to know what way to turn, what way to look. They're not going to know who to go to. They're not going to know how to handle the situation. And some of them may revert to thinking about how you overcame whatever your obstacles were. And they may actually start to put some stock into it finally. And they may decide that they need to follow your lead. So some of these people will kind of elevate with you, and some of them, they will not. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to take more cards. So messages from your people. Okay. So we definitely have people here that are dreaming, fantasizing, daydreaming, or very nostalgic about you. Definitely have people that could have crushes or are really in love with you. Yeah. So for some of you, there's unrequited love here. And they're taking it very personally. For others of you, you're now inspiring new love interest and new attraction within other people. Yeah. And I think that some of these people that are on on the end of this unrequited love, where it's maybe they were the people that were shut down or kind of pushed out of the circle, or you severed your connection with them. They're holding this grudge and feeling taking it very personally, that they feel rejected in some way. They may, or you guys could kind of all know the same people, and they could have also gone to this other person, this King of Swords, who's still very interested and still taking stock of you. And they could have also been rejected from this other person. So it doesn't have to be romantic interest for everyone here. There could be a group of friends. So there could have actually been a one sought after person. Yeah. And one friend kind of going between when different things weren't working, trying to capitalize on a situation, but another person who kept their distance out of self-love. So whatever that means. Okay, let's see. We're going to take a timing card. Why are we taking a timing card? Messages from your person. Why are we taking a timing card? Yeah, so next year in March, it's like some of these people are not going to readily acknowledge or accept your evolution or your beauty or your grace until it may take that long. And what we are currently in September, so it could just be whenever March next occurs to when you see this videos. These videos are timeless. It could just be whenever the new year starts, or it could be in 6 months' time. So just kind of taking that with what resonates for your situation. Okay. What else do we need here for group 2? I just felt like a really subtle shift of the energy, and everything kind of felt more free-flowing and a lot lighter in the energy. Okay, so they're telling me that that's everything. So messages from your people. I do think overall the messages have come from this King of Swords person, and they are watching all this stuff play out with these other people. Yeah. But yeah, hopefully this is helpful and resonated. Yeah, definitely leave us a like or share in the comments. And I'll see you all in another video. Take care. Okay, welcome group 3. If you chose the evil eye anklet, then this will be your messages from your person reading today. So we're starting off with 1111, answered prayers, and I release through the crown chakra, surrendering gracefully into expansive spiritual freedom, ready to embrace new grace. This definitely seems, mental release. I feel like there's been a change in circumstances, and if it hasn't physically taken place yet, it's something that has given your mind freedom to actually rest and let go of whatever it was maybe holding on to here. And so for some of you, could be on the receiving end of this being a message from your person. So it's like your person could have answered something for you that maybe you had been struggling to actually I felt like it was all really good and high vibrational until we got this, because we have looking you up, researching you, studying you, getting info, and stalking, watching, and obsessed. So for some of you, these people could present themselves as being a prayer answered, and they really could be though. Is this 2 different people? No. Is this high vibe or low vibe? Low vibe. Okay. For you, group 3, I think the message from your person is that you to them are an answered prayer. And they may put this down to some type of like spiritual significance, or some sort of, it almost feels like deluded, destined sort of outcomes here, where maybe they have come across you in your day-to-day environment, and I don't know if they follow something that you like put out to the world, or if it's really just a case that they have seen you somewhere and it kind of feels like fate, like they equate it to fate. But it was like you put their mind at ease in some sort of having seen you, met you, or I don't know, And yeah, so it's like they're trying to find out stuff about you, and it feels like a little bit of like a fantasy or something like that. And I do think that this person would be the type of person that they would very conveniently go to the supermarket at the same time as you if that was like a place that they seen you frequent or something like that. Like they may pay attention to the times or days of the week that you actually do go certain places. So yeah. Yeah, I don't feel like this would be a person that you would know. I feel like this would be a person that has kind of seen you around or knows of you. Even if it is through like extended sort of social networks or friends or something. Okay, so this year and take a break. Yeah, so it could have been... what is this take a break? Yeah, okay, so this person, it could have only, you know, seen you like within this last year. They could have only become aware of you within this last year or something. And spirit may be asking you to take a break in something that you do, or to kind of mix up your routine or something like that. I don't feel like it's all super bad, but it's just good to be mindful of. So I don't feel like they're out to like hurt you or anything. If anything, I feel like they're a little bit, I don't know, yeah, fantasy or like romantically kind of interested in you in some way. I do feel like this person would actually take some sort of step to meet you or towards you. Like I feel like they may, like I said, it wouldn't surprise me if this person would be the type of person that would like, you know, kind of show up at the supermarket on the same day that you do if you have routine to that. Okay, what else do we want? For some of you, this person may not have actually seen you at a routine place that you go. They could have actually met you or seen you out and about, or, you know, at some sort of celebration or an occasion or something. Yeah. For some of you, if you're in like the Brisbane area, I think they had river fire not that long ago. So it could have been a place where they had fireworks or the community kind of gathered together. But for others of you, they could have actually seen you taking some sort of break. So it might not have necessarily been doing a grocery shop, but it might have been that you were like on break at your work and they have come across you on your break or something. Now we also have the heart card here. So I actually want to read from the book on this card. See what we get. I just feel like you have captured their heart. They definitely, I think this person would kind of fill in the gaps of the things that they don't know about you, and kind of, they may just fantasize about you. They may kind of wonder like, what is it like to, you know, interact with group 3? And I think they would definitely have a wash of like rose-colored glasses all over this. And I don't feel like they would like ever like want to, you know, they would only ever want to put their best foot forward. And I feel like they would make sure that they show up to you in a kind way. I feel like they would never, what's the word? They would never subject you to inappropriate behavior, and they would never, you know, make you feel unsafe or anything like that. But I think that you've just caught their attention, and they're just like really, I don't know, taken back by you or something. But they just can't help themselves. So I don't know. I mean, I know that we've got the stalker card here and everything. And if you've already cottoned onto this and it's like a real thing, like obviously please, you know, be mindful of, you know, taking care of yourself and everything. Like we did have the mention and potentially taking a break from your typical routine or mixing things up. But I do kind of feel like this person would just like see you at the supermarket out and about, and all of a sudden they're like really attracted to you, but then they can't stop thinking about you. And then all of a sudden they might even feel a bit weird about it, and they start like kind of looking you up on social media, seeing if they can find you on the off chance that they know nothing about you. And I don't know. It's kind of like, it's a bit weird. I don't feel like it's inherently bad, but it definitely feels like a little bit like delusional. And so I don't know if it's just a case that they like, I wonder for some of you if this person, they like know that they're kind of being a bit silly or delusional or fantasizing, but they're like happy to have that as like, they're happy to keep you as this like, you know, fantasy that they can kind of escape reality from too. Where, but I don't know, it does look like they would probably try to take action. So they would probably try to start up a conversation or something. I don't know if they really would. I feel like there's that thing. They would definitely try to be at a place at the same time as you, but it just makes me think that they're kind of really attracted to you and they want to have a chance at getting to meet you. But I don't want to dismiss it if it does err on the side of like being weird. So let's read from the card, the heart. I feel like this person's very heart-led, like they would very much let their heart override everything else. So even if it does come off weird, it's because they probably let their heart lead more than other people usually do. And so we'll read from the book here. We have the home, the center, the throne. It is possible from an imaginal point of view to sense the heart as a place. Either we are there within the realm of expansion and compassion, or we have drifted somewhere else. And there is no in-between. It is common for us to leave this archetypal center without realizing it, as the world, with its seductive twists and turns, offers us frequent departure. We may even become a stranger to the landscape of the heart, leaving it vacant for long stretches of time. And the seed of the heart is often reclaimed by nature, music, dance, and the presence of children or animals. And this card encourages us to move past the layers of life's tangles and knots and enter the wild and sacred center of the self. The most precious throne in the galaxy is awaiting your return. Yeah. I think when we were referencing this kind of lower vibrational side of the like stalking energy here, I need to fill in the gaps. I need to do a bit better in explaining this, because the more that we've gone on with, you know, taking cards and stuff, we've had more energy come through. I don't feel like this energy is actually hiding anything about itself. I don't feel like it's trying to cover itself up or present as something that it's not. But what I feel like is that they may not be so self-aware, or that living through the lens of rose-colored glasses may be what is kind of low vibrational about the situation, because it's like they're not looking at the situation through the lens of reality, as in when I talk about they are allowing themselves to kind of fantasize and fill in the gaps and whatnot, it's not really the reality of you. They don't actually know you. So they could be super attracted to you. Yes, they may kind of delight in like fantasizing a bit, and they may even realize at times that it is a bit weird or deluded to kind of like fantasize about a person so much that they don't know. But it's like I don't know how much they're taking into account the fact that they don't really know you, and that they could just be, I don't know, like taking something that you do and making it so much more than what it is. Or I don't know, it's like it's not really knowing a person well. Like it's a very superficial kind of infatuation. Yeah, I don't know. Okay. Spirit, do we have more here for group 3 in messages for their person? Okay, so for some of you, this could be like the other way around, where like you may have, spotted a really attractive person that, I don't know, you see in your day-to-day or around the same area or something like that. And maybe it's, you know, the other way around, where maybe this person did catch you off guard. And I don't know, like, it makes me wonder if you come into contact through some type of community or something, and you just got really, like, you just wanted to know about them or something. I don't know. And if, I don't know, for some of you, if this person is like a masculine, you may really like their masculine features are really attractive. And if it's the other way around, there's something about, I don't know, maybe they appear to be like a person who knows what they want, or they are quite strong. There's like a health, there's, what is it, like thriving health, or being really confident in the way that they move throughout the world, that has kind of been the thing to draw you in. So I don't know, messages from your person for group 3. Okay, we're going to take another card. What is that? We just got the happiness hater card, and I just got the words that it's not for you. So I'm going to put it back, and we're just going to go again. And if it's meant to be, it'll come out again. Yeah, photo proof, getting evidence. This person could just be trying to see photos of you, or trying to give some sort of validity to, you know, what they may have put in their mind. But we're starting to get different stuff. So it's like, yeah, looking for dirt on you, talking shit and played out. We're getting cards here coming through that were from group 1. Okay, so dirt digging, talking shit, played out, dusted off. And the photo proof was potentially getting evidence on you. And so if that's the case, I feel like I'm not going to go through the messages for that energy again. It's a different person that you have messages from coming through in group 1. So if that's something that you feel like you're already drawn to that, or you want to go and check that out and see if there's something else there that you don't want to miss out on, it did seem like a bit of a past person, or something that you had, you know, sort of recently overcome, or you've cottoned on to some sort of behaviors that were playing out. But we're going to leave that where it is, because it seems like an entirely different person and situation. And we're going to, what is this dirt digging? For some of you, this pastime person could just be trying to like check in and see if you've actually moved on or not. But we're just going to leave that there. I just felt like a lot of energy coming out of that card. And there's still a little bit there, but I don't think there's anything new that we need to kind of take stock of. And so, messages from your person. So, you know, this person, they feel like they would tell you that you are really beautiful, like divinely beautiful, potentially divinely gifted if they have come across you on some sort of like social platform, social media kind of content platform. They're infatuated with you. They can't stop thinking about you. Their feelings have kind of taken over here. They realize that their feelings are very strong for you and not necessarily anchored in reality. And for some of them, they would tell you that they are trying to take a break from thinking about you, or getting too wrapped up in the idea of you or the thought of you. Or they would tell you that they almost need to take a break from their current routine, where they may bump into you somewhere here, as to not, you know, to be able to just like move on with life, because they realize that it's not necessarily, I don't know if it's that it's not healthy. I think they're just acknowledging that it is a bit weird, or it makes them almost potentially feel a little bit uncomfortable. And I don't want to play it off as though it's all okay and good and well. Like I said, if you know that there's something weird going on, don't dismiss that or sort of not acknowledge it. Like, it could be quite transparent. And I would say, like that whole thing about taking a break from your regular routine. See if you can mix things up just for a little bit, just to kind of give yourself a break. But the point is just to not dismiss anything serious, but that this person may recognize that they may come off too strong at times, and they really don't want to make you feel kind of uncomfortable here, because yeah, they just, I don't know, I think they realize that they're very interested, and they are probably exercising, holding themselves back from you know, being around too much and stuff. So it's kind of weird, because then they battle. So one of the messages from your person is that they would battle with the thought of wanting to make sure that they could be at the same place as you at the same time, so that they could see you, on the chance you may recognize them or something like that, or you know, have an interaction or just become a familiar face or something. But they also, they don't want to, because they don't want to come off weird. Yeah. And I feel like I want to go back to that low vibrational kind of energy that I was getting, because I want to see if there's something else here to it. And saying, no, it's everything that I've already said, already covered. So do we need to take more cards? I'm just going to see. So we have the King of Cups and the Page of Swords. This person actually could have like a high emotional capacity, and they could, or intelligence, and they could actually recognize that you are currently in an energy of not being open to something new, or you could be in a slightly defensive energy, even if it's not directed entirely towards them. Like, this person may not really be on your radar, but maybe you are a little bit in a defensive energy towards some sort of like new people coming in general. And if it's not that, maybe you have kind of bumped into this person and had like a very small, minute interaction of, oh, sorry, I just wanted to grab this, or something like that, and then just being really friendly. Or I don't know, where it's like maybe they just recognize that they come off being a little bit too open to talk to you. They don't, I don't know, it's they're thinking about it too much, or they don't want to be perceived as, it's like they don't want, I don't know. Let's take more cards. I don't know. So this person could recognize that you're grieving something, or if in a defensive energy, or that you're kind of preoccupied, like otherwise preoccupied, or kind of consumed with something where you're just not at capacity, even though you have the potential to really be at capacity. For others of you, this person may really be hopeful that you could recognize them as a counterpart, but they're also willing to kind of grieve that not being a possibility, or not being a notion that can actually go anywhere. So yeah, and that you may, I don't know if you guys have like moved somewhere new, or moving somewhere new is still like is on the cards and hasn't happened yet, or I don't know. They don't want you to feel like you have to go somewhere new, but they also, if you did move away from them, so this, I don't know, this person may not have been a person where you currently live. They could have been a person from an old area that you used to live that was like really attracted to you or something, and then they just noticed that you weren't showing up anymore, and they kind of had to grieve this whole, like, you know, potentially meeting you one day or something. what is this? Queen of Pentacles. I feel like this is you, the viewer. So, I just feel like you're actually very grounded. And so I don't know how this message would be received to you. You may just be very nonchalant or matter of fact about it. And this person would say that you're very graceful, very grounded. There's definitely, you could be really beautiful. You could kind of be like a natural beauty as well. You could be a mother or a parent, you know. You could be very well established in your community, or you could, I don't know, you could have a type of confidence, but yeah. And I almost think they wonder if there's like too much, I don't know, it's like, it almost seems like we're getting more of like what this person thinks. We're like dipping out of like, you know, your person's messages for you and what they kind of think, and wouldn't necessarily like, I don't know, maybe they would. They do feel like they're quite honest. Like they would probably just admit to the awkward truth of not knowing where they stood, or not knowing whether there was like any real grounded like chance of anything happening, or just leaving it up to fate. It very much seems like this person, your person, the message that they're having come through for you is that they would just almost surrender moving towards you and leaving it up to fate, so that if it was going to be something real, like they know that if they kind of manufactured some sort of meeting, that it may not be the same. You know, they might get, and this person seems like they have the potential to get in their head about things a little bit, very innocently, and, you know, they may not want that to be, they may not want to feel like a fraud. I wonder if for some of you, this person could actually, we did have a mention that they could have potentially had a rough idea of who you are through like extended friend circles or something like that. So for some of you, I wonder if they actually knew your ex, or even if they didn't know your ex, they like knew of your ex or something, because it's weird that we were even having that group one energy come through from that past person. So it's like this person could see you around, and they could wonder if you're still heartbroken over your ex, or they could wonder if it would kind of be crossing a boundary, even though they're not really personally friends with your ex or something like that. So, yeah, but they're definitely happy to just see how things play out naturally. Yeah, and I think they're also happy to kind of let whatever this like little fantasy is that they have going on, you know, fall to the wayside, or let that little fantasy die, because they're recognizing it's not reality, and that there is something within them. They may have been kind of looking at this or using it as a bit of like a distraction, or like that whole escaping reality thing where they're just kind of paying attention to you, just like a nice fantasy, and then kind of realizing that it's not really helpful or conducive to their personal transformation. So this person actually does seem quite lovely, even though they come through in a lower vibrational energy. And I want to kind of clarify, I want to take a second to clarify that, because not always is something low vibrational mean that it's bad. Sometimes being low vibrational might equate to a lack of awareness, or a lack of involvement, or kind of being at the beginning of our journeys. And so there, you know, and it gets thrown around a lot, and it gets used in very different ways, because sometimes being low vibrational literally will fall more into those negative energies where it's, yes, it is unevolved, but it is almost like unhealthy, where it's not just, you know, having a bit of a fantasy that doesn't really equate to reality, but you're using it as a way to kind of escape reality, and then still having the ability to, when you null over that in your mind or process it, you kind of come to the realization that, you know, maybe it's not that realistic, and you don't want to come off being too weird, and you don't want to like ruin any authenticity in any connection that could come about because you don't want to make it weird or whatever. So you're just happy to kind of let it go and actually realize that it was a distraction and you weren't focusing on yourself, and it's kind of time to get back to that process, even if it is difficult for you. So this person could have gone through, this person, even if you didn't have a connection to group one, your person who this whole situation has been about, it's like the messages coming through from them, they could have gone through something similar to group one. And so you could have kind of been, you know, a really nice part of their 24 hours in the day, even if they only thought of you for like a couple minutes, and it was like a kind of a, that person's so attractive fantasy thing. But like there can also be that sort of lower vibrational stuff where people are intentionally, you know, manufacturing situations and deluding themselves and other people around them and kind of being deceptive or acting out of their shadow and, you know, not, yeah, it's like not being self-aware, not taking accountability for it, and just allowing themselves to kind of continue to not learn from a situation or something like that. So it's like, I don't know, you know, and sometimes it can be very like innocent, and sometimes it's, most of the time I feel like it's kind of not right, because even if we haven't been kind of whipped into shape from the consequences of our actions, there's part of us that knows that it's probably not the best choice, but then there's part of us that maybe come up in circumstances where we were never, you know, nobody ever treated us with a high level of respect. I don't want to get too lost in the source. I don't want to take away from it. But yeah, so low vibrational, it can be like that not being evolved. And it can be in terms of like innocently not understanding things. And it can also just be, you know, acting out of our shadow or being really negative, or I don't know, not taking accountability for our actions. I don't know. I feel like that could be, even if I haven't done it justice in how I've kind of, you know, made that comparison between the two potential versions of what low vibrational could mean to you. It could just be food for thought that may spark some sort of, I don't know, thought process around that, and realizing that, you know, just because a person doesn't exist on our frequency necessarily, and I don't know, maybe they don't look like they do, or they don't emanate that quality, but there is also something in terms of maybe they're less evolved, but they still have a type of innocence or good intention that will actually prop them up a little bit. Like maybe not everything that comes off low vibrational is as low vibrational, but also, yeah, I don't know. Okay, I just want to take a moment and see if there's anything else here, because I don't want to just keep repeating myself and getting muddled. They're just saying not to discard any of the stuff, and that maybe it could be a topic that is actually confusing to you in trying to work out those differences of low vibrational energies here. But to not get too lost in it, we're just going to take the messages from this reading that did apply. Hopefully this was like helpful to you and gave you some sort of insight, and we're going to leave it there. So thank you for joining us, Group 3. I'll see you all in another one. Take care.